Hello, welcome to the Scale Model Club. And on this week's show, HMS Rodney. You plonker. Hello, welcome to the Scale Model Club. On this week's show, unboxing and a few build bits of 1 to 700 scale British battleship HMS Rodney of the Nelson class. This is a waterline series, as you can see, which basically means you don't have the bottom half of the boat. Basically so you can put it on a diorama, make yourself a nice little bit of sea, pop the boat in it, makes it look a little bit more realistic. Might have a go at that. But I've missed, after doing sort of a few bits and pieces with the boats, I've missed doing a boat, so let's get back on and do a boat after that disastrous motorcycle. So this is the tamiya kit. As you can see, it's a tamiya quality, so it's moulded nicely. Oh, not too far, wait for the light, there we go. It's moulded nicely, no flash, all the bits are there. There's the big, I don't know anything about ships, so I'm assuming they're 40-inch guns, and then you've got lots of little smaller guns. So this is the hull. See what I mean? So you only get the top half of it. Model's a little bit cheaper for that reason, so that's quite nice. That's the bottom of the boat. But it's good. It's nice the fact that you haven't got to find a really deep piece of foam to cut out to sit your boat in to make it into a nice little sea diorama. You get a little bit of metal there for some weight to hold it down, I suppose. Slips in there. So I'm looking forward to painting this and getting this one together. But all the parts are beautiful. Lots of detail, crisp lines. The deck looks really nice. Let's have a little bit of a look at the instructions. With the tamiya, you always get this little tips and tricks piece of paper, which is quite nice. Shows you how to sand, or what to sand, and what knives and things to use. It's quite handy. Obviously, you always get two instructions. One's in Japanese, I believe, or Asian, should we say? And here we have the instructions. This is the only thing I don't like, is the fact that the instructions are a big tall piece of paper that you unfold. Pretty explanatory though, can't really go wrong. There's lots and lots of very small parts though. But I must admit, I am quite taken with the ships, sorry. So there are the instructions. That's the paint job. I do fancy the camo on the side. Obviously, that's the camo that is after the engagement with Bismarck. But I do like a camo. Everyone likes a camo. Always very challenging to paint these boats, I find. I'm never quite sure which bit to paint when and which bit to mask off, because obviously you can't mask a lot of this stuff off. Anyway, so that's what's in the box. Lovely box art on the front. Throw these away and let's get on with some building. Standard trusty tools as ever. That's a new scalpel I've got, which is quite nice. I've gone with the scalpel because it's really easy to get blades for them online. And my trusty side cutters to cut the stuff off of the sprues. Got to be really careful with this one. There's a lot of small parts. Most of them do snap when you cut them off the sprue. There's the hull looking quite nice. What I think I might do with that one is actually paint the top half with the deck. Oh, sorry, I'm going to paint the sides, mask all the sides up, and then paint the deck, and then paint the superstructure and put that on the top. Right, So where are we first? First thing on the instructions is the guns. So let's put one of those together. 3 of those in all at the front. It's a really strange design of warship, but I quite like it. So we have guns, turret, and now we need the little sticky out bits. I think that's a technical term for them. I think there's something to do with the range finding. I think we had automatic range finding guns. I could be completely wrong, but basically little square sticky out bits. And they go on the side of the turret at the back. There's little marks for them. But as they're so small, I decided, I think if you put your finger on them and then cut them like that, they'll just go where your finger is. Otherwise, if you just cut them, they'll ping off into the carpet monster. So, a bit awkward to cut them about and actually shave some of the stuff off, some of your extra sprue off. But we'll get them done. I did find these awkward, but not quite as awkward as putting all the superstructure together, because that got really small. And then to cap it all, I've gone and bought some 1 to 700 scale railings to go around the outside of the boat, which I think will look quite nice. So guns go in there through the hole. And the only thing I found a bit awkward is what angle you'd want them at. I mean, I'd sort of want them at sort of a sticky out angle, but if you wanted to place them sort of up or in different angles for yourself, I'm not quite sure how you do that, but I placed them in sort of straight out, so that if you faced all the guns forward, they wouldn't hit each other. And the best way I found of doing that was to glue it in slightly, let the weight just bend the guns down slightly, and I left it on my knife there because there's just about the right amount of gap between the knife and the edge of the guns. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Trusty tweezers. I'm not good with tweezers, I tell you. I could see this going wrong. And then I'm having to manufacture parts to go on. Yeah, see? But, you know, life was easy. That'd be boring model, wouldn't it? At least I've only got 6 of these to put on. Yeah, so if I put it on the top of my knife like that, the guns fall down to the mat and it gives it just about the right angle. While I go and make sure I've got the right way round for these little tricky bits. It's another good tip: if you hold it with your tweezers, move it down to where the tweezers are to the edge of the bit you want to sand off, and then just sand it down to the tweezers. I can't really get in close on that because it's so small, but now I've got a nice flat edge. And I think there was a little bit of flash that I hadn't, or a little bit of sprue I hadn't cut off properly, that was stopping it from going in the hole. See how we get on. There we go, there's one on. I've got to do one the other side and 3 other guns. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Make sure you push the notification bell. Come back for more modelling shenanigans. A little bit of extra glue on there just to keep that safe. Right, so that's one. I did all three of those, and we'll use the hull unpainted obviously as a little bit of a stand for them. So now we have 6 smaller guns at the back, so I cut them all off the sprues, the main bodies, put them into the hull, as you can see, use that as a holder, and then cut the individual guns off and stuck those into the holes, which seemed the easiest way of doing it because they were a little bit small to hold, so it seemed like to use in the actual body was actual hull is a lot better and a lot easier. So we need to hold them with the tweezers and cut the last of the sprue off the end, and then stick them straight into the gun port. And with the second one, you're alright if they're not quite in the right position because it takes a while for the glue to go off. So if you give it a few seconds, and it will start to go stiff and it will start to go sticky, so you can then move them around into the position that you want them at. There you go, and I did that for all 6 of them, and that would have finished off most of the armaments for the hull. So now we're going to start the superstructure. This was a little bit awkward, but not too bad, only because bits are so small. So this is, I think this is the main cockpit bridge of the ship. Comes in 2 parts, so cut the bits off the sprue, clean them up with your knife, put the glue on them and stick them all together. I must admit everything went together really nicely. It's a really nice model, it's nicely moulded, it's nicely designed. It's a little bit better than the Airfix ones. But I do like them. I hope to do another waterline series. Well, I'm going to do more ships anyway because I'm quite enjoying them. They're almost creeping up there as nice, as much fun as my aircraft. Mind your fingers with this, everyone. Sharp these knives are. Don't want anybody in casualty. Not like we haven't all done it before. So yeah, 2 halves, and you have like an inner piece. I'm not quite sure what the inner piece does actually, but and then the 2 halves go together. And I'm sure this is the bridge, because everything else seems to work around this particular piece. Obviously using the Tamiya extra thin glue there in the green. I think I did use a couple of times. I did use the light green one, which is fast drying, mainly because I was holding bits together. And it was a little bit awkward to see which way round the bits went for the bridge, so I did have to keep checking back to the instructions because it wasn't blatantly obvious. So now we've got the interiors put in, we can stick the 2 bits together. And once it was together, it did look good. And I must admit, it did look just like the bridge. So now That's, as you can see at the bottom there, that's the bridge made up with lookout deck on it and some aerial stanchions and things, the spotlights. They're really small, so they're all a cut off the thing and then stick it on and then clean it up once it's on. Next thing is going to be cutting out the floor to the bridges and the other rooms of the superstructure. They're so tiny. These are the spotlights. Yeah, so that's the main building. Then we've got a couple of other floors to put in. Really should find out what all this stuff is called. And then of course we've got all the aerials. So that's the floor. And now I'm going to show you one of the best things I've ever bought. This is a clay pencil. You can pick up tiny bits and place them onto the model exactly where you want them. It's often used for PE. And I can't remember. I think I got them from Ultimate Modelling Products, or they might have just been from China. But they're basically clay pencils. So they're a pencil with clay. So when you sharpen them, when you push them down, they stick to the piece that you want. You can pick it up, put it on the model. Brilliant stuff. So that's the superstructure done. Everything put together, spotlights, stanchions, all that kind of stuff. And a few more fiddly bits to put onto the boat, the ship. Like I said, little anti-aircraft guns and a few other bits and pieces, and then we're going to be ready for painting. So we're pretty much there now. So next week we will be painting HMS Rodney. So thanks very much for watching this episode of me putting it together and the quick box review, and I'll see you all next time.